Well, Linda Killian is one of the founders of Renaissance Capital, a firm that specializes in IPO research and investment. And in fact, its IPO Plus fund is the first mutual fund to focus solely on IPO investing. So tell me, I mean, we had, what you said, one IPO in the first 3 months of 2009. What can we expect in January 2010? Is the pipeline just ready to go here?
The pipeline is definitely ready to go. And in fact, 2009 was actually a pretty good year for IPOs. The first part of the year was very slow, with Mead Johnson being the one that went forward in the first quarter. But the second half of the year was very, very active.
Mm-hmm. What kind of IPOs are we going to see come to market in 2010? What has changed in the global IPO environment?
Well, we did a study of the entire 2009 IPO market, and it was a transitional year. It was dominated very much by private equity companies trying to monetize, delever,
right,
and also very opportunistic IPOs in the REIT area, where they were trying to raise money to buy distressed mortgage securities. Mm-hmm. However, we're now starting to see more growth companies file with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And what we see in the pipeline sets up for a year that is not going to be dominated by leveraged private equity companies, but by growth companies and venture capital-backed deals.
And one of those caught my attention here when I was reading through your annual report, or your year-end report. You say that we'll see a number of notable growth IPOs, including at least one of the big social networks. Are you betting on Facebook here?
Well, we certainly are. We haven't seen them file, but we know that there are about 20 new venture deals that have filed in the last 3 months. And we also, having talked with a lot of the venture folks, know that there is a shadow pipeline that is 2 to 3 times that size.
But specifically with social networks, why do you think that's going to be a standout?
Simply because there is a need for them to raise capital to be able to grow and to be able to compete with the many other social networks, and the ones that are able to get access to the public market and therefore get a lot of capital that they couldn't obtain in the private sector will be able to grow much more quickly.
An inflection point for them. When you look on the global, out of the global landscape right now, what are the regional standouts? Is China going to continue to dominate?
You bet China's going to continue to dominate. China didn't suffer the same problems that the U.S. did and Europe did in terms of the financial crisis and the mortgage fallout. They're on a very, very strong growth trajectory, and we just see them continuing to pound both the domestic Chinese market and Hong Kong and the U.S. with a lot of Chinese IPOs.
Now, here at home, you point out in your report that IPOs in the first half of the year fell an average of 18% on their first day. They gained by about 38% by December the 18th. What do you expect the market to do in terms of rewarding some of those investors of the IPOs that we're going to see in 2010? Do you think there's going to be a different market reaction?
Oh, I definitely do. Many of the IPOs that did not do very well were private equity leveraged types of deals. And quite honestly, when investors see a company that comes to market because they must go to market and raise capital, they smell blood in the water and they force very low valuations. And that's what happened to a lot of the private equity deals. But differentiated companies like Dollar General that were private equity but had a little bit more freedom and also have a growth story, those did very, very well.
All right. Well, we'll get ready for the pipeline to explode in 2010. Thank you so much, Linda, for joining us.